Welcome back to another video here on the Unknown Coder YouTube channel. Today we are working on another LeetCode problem. This time we are doing 344 reverse string. Now this is a problem that literally everyone should know how to do. It's pretty trivial, but it's also pretty important to understand. So this problem states, write a function that reverses a string, nothing too crazy, and the input of the string will be given as an array of characters called s. This part is a little bit different from what I'm usually used to. Normally I'm working straight with a regular string, but it's nothing too crazy here. The final constraint is that you must do this by modifying the input array in place with O of 1 extra memory. So we can't make any new strings, we can't make any new arrays or anything like that. We must do this all in place without actually making anything new and taking up more space. So again, like I said, this one is a very simple problem. This isn't going to be a very long episode. So let's hop below, take a look at our examples, and then kind of move on from there. For example number 1, we're going to have an input array of HELLL. So this array basically is hello, and what the output's going to be is obviously going to be reversed. So we'll take the last index and put in the first one, so that'll be O. And the next one would be L, next one would be L again, next one would be E, last one will be H. Obviously nothing too crazy here. Let's take a look at the next example. The next one's a little bit longer, but nothing different. So S is going to equal to HANNAH. This one's a little bit more confusing because a lot of these characters are the same, but let's go take a look at the output. So we take a look at the last index. It's going to be lowercase h, so that'll be the first index. Then next we have A, next we have N again, A, and finally an uppercase H. Like I said, really nothing too crazy here. This is nothing we need to worry about. Let's go ahead and take a look at our constraints and then figure out how we can get this with pseudocode and all the other stuff. So again, the constraints are very straightforward. The first one is 1 is less than or equal to s.length is less than or equal to 10 to the 5. So this just means that the length of the array is between 1 and 10,000. This is still a relatively small number in the grand scheme of things, but it also means that there's always going to be at least one value to check against. So that's also nice. That's not going to be empty. And again, the other one's very simple. S of I is a printable ASCII character. This just means that it's going to be some normal character. They're not going to put any numbers or weird things like that in there, which technically they could put a number in there. I'm not really concerned about that, but basically it's not going to be something that the compiler or whatever can't read. But again, it doesn't really matter because all we're going to be doing is taking a look at the different characters at different indexes. So again, it doesn't really matter what the characters are, but it is pretty nice. They're not going to pull any tricks on you. So once again, the goal of this problem is take an array of characters that's given to us and then swap all the characters in a way which results in the string being reversed. This is a classic coding challenge that is not difficult to solve once you've got the right idea. We could just create a whole new array and place the last index of S into the first index of the new array and continue until we read all the characters, but this would break the rule of modifying the array in place. There's actually an even faster way of achieving this without actually looping through the entire array. So to reverse a string, we only actually have to loop through half of the string using a two-pointer technique, where the first pointer starts at the beginning of the array and the second pointer starts at the end of the array. Then you can swap the values at both pointers until they meet in the middle. Let's go ahead and take a look at the pseudocode and walk through before hopping over to LeetCode. So for our pseudocode, we're going to start out by saying let left be 0 and let right be length of s. And we want to say while right and left have not met yet, and while they have not met, we're going to swap char at left and char at right. And finally, we're going to increment left and decrement right. And that's all it is. It's simple as that. So let's go ahead and take a look at our example and then hop onto LeetCode. So hopefully this example doesn't take up too much space. We're just going to take the one that s is equal to hello. I'm just going to bypass all of the quotation marks because it just takes a bunch of time. So in this case, left will be equal to 0. Our right is equal to 4. If we want to look at which indexes we're looking at, we'll say s is equal to hello. And we're going to be looking at the index 0 right here and index 4 right there. So for I equal to 0, our s of left is equal to h. Our s of right is equal to O. What we want to do is swap them. So we're going to say s of left equal to O, then s of right equal to H. And then we're going to say left plus plus and right minus minus. Now our left will be equal to 1, right will be equal to 3. And now if we take a look at array, s will be equal to O, E, L, L, and H. And now we're looking at index 1, which is E, and index 3, which is L. Now I equal 1, we're going to have s of left equal E, and our s of right is equal to L. And we're going to set s of left equal to L, and s of right equal to E, and obviously left plus plus, and right minus minus. So now our left is equal to 2, right is equal to 2, and our s is equal to OLLEH. So now for I equal 2, our s of left is equal to L, our s of right is equal to L, and we're going to set s of left to L and s of right to L, and left plus plus, right minus minus. And now we're at the end of the loop because left is larger than right. Loop ends, and now our s is equal to OLLEH. Simple as that. So instead of looping through the entire 5 indexes, we only had to loop 3 times. So let's hop over to LeetCode and see if we can code this. Over here on LeetCode, this is going to be a quick one. We just have an int left equal to 0. And int right is equal to s.length minus 1. And while left is less than or equal to right, we're going to have a char temp is equal to s of right. We're going to store this temporarily, and we're going to say s of left is equal to temp, and then left plus plus to increment that, and right minus minus to bring it close to the middle as well. So we're going to loop until they meet in the middle, and then we don't have to return anything because this is just going to return void. It's just going to check the array at the end. I forgot to put s of right is equal to s of left, and now if we submit, as long as I actually type what I'm supposed to type, there we have it, a 1 millisecond runtime. There says there might be a 0 millisecond, but I don't believe it because this one is basically the fastest you can get. There's not much faster you can get. So if you did find some value in this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm making these videos literally every single week. And as always, this has been Ethan and Coda. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video.